on? This is John Fierce. We are at the Toyman Toy Show, January 2018 show with Wyatt. How are we doing, sir?
I'm doing good.
Doing good. Pleasure and an honor to talk with you. Got a couple questions about the convention. Couple questions about the career.
Sure.
So, is this your first time at the Toyman Toy Show?
No, this is maybe my third or fourth time. I tend to come about once a year, maybe once every 2 years.
And explain your relationship with Chris that puts on the Toyman Toy Show. He does such a good job.
He does. I think I'd gotten to meet Chris once or twice a long time ago because of mutual friends, like Tom Stockman, who's been coming here forever. So I think I just met him in passing, and then I think he was talking to somebody, and they said, well, you know, Wyatt's been in Star Trek and Predator. And Chris was like, really?
And he's like, I gotta get into that show.
So then he invited me to attend a couple of years ago just as a guest, and it worked out well. And
so now you guys come all the time? So
yeah, at least once a year he brings me back as a guest.
Now, a second question, would you recommend this show to anyone else that's never been?
Oh my gosh. This is the place where you come to see the thing from your childhood. And
exactly.
Go, oh my God, I remember that. Or, oh my God, I used to have that. Every time I come here, I see some new memory, some long lost toy that I used to have. And I'm also seeing stuff that I had no idea, like,
that existed.
Yeah, like I had this G.I. Joe, but I never knew this G.I. Joe existed.
I'm sad to say that Fears has spent way too much money today, but well worth the effort.
I have to say that every time we sold a couple of things, I would go out and buy something.
Oh, so you've been out about buying some stuff.
And I'd have to wait, and we'd have to sell a couple more things, because I want to do at least break even.
Now, what did you buy today? Any goodies today?
Today, I bought a Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind Blu-ray, which I really wanted. And I got Mr. Scott Schwartz, the actor, to autograph my Ocean's 11 DVD.
That's awesome.
Because he was the big bruiser guy in Ocean's 11 who beat up George Clooney. So
that guy right over there. That's the guy.
So I got his autograph on the Ocean's 11 DVD, and then I bought some of these really cool custom-made batarangs.
Oh, okay.
That this guy was 3D printing right at the table. So
that's very cool.
Batarangs, DVDs, autographs. I'm eyeballing some Ghostbusters toys.
That's right up my field. Fears loves Ghostbusters. All right, now we got a couple questions about the career. So out of Star Trek and Predator, what would be your favorite project out of those two?
You know, the Predator is cool, the suit was awesome.
Yeah.
But I have to say Star Trek The Next Generation.
Star Trek The Next Generation was the best?
Man, I was such a Star Trek fan from way back to the original series, and when I knew I was going to be on Star Trek, I knew I was going to be on television forever. I just knew that anything that had to do with Star Trek was going to go down in history, was going to be seen forever, was going to be in syndication forever. So, you know.
And if you guys haven't seen it, it was season 3 at the High Ground. You played I forgot how you pronounce the guard.
You know, Russian
guard. Yeah. And it was the scene where basically Beverly Crusher and Worf, they were having lunch or dinner or whatever. All of a sudden, explosion goes off. He comes in with 2 other guards, correct?
Yeah.
And they tried to get them out of there, and she was like, no, I gotta help them out.
And then I'm all throughout the rest of the episode. I get to, there's a scene with Commander Riker. Frakes, Jonathan Frakes. There's a good scene with him. I get to actually beam down at the end with the landing party. I get to do that whole thing.
Now, out of that whole episode, what was your favorite scene, like hands down, to do?
You know, there was a scene, and I didn't even have any dialogue. There was a scene in the police commander's office, Alex Santa, Carrie Keene, and there's a scene in her office, and because I'm one of her bodyguards, I always have to be present.
Nice.
And she and Commander Riker are having like a conversation.
Okay.
And it just happened in the scene. I'm standing guard by the door.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And every time he would walk over to me, he'd kind of look at me, and I'd kind of look at him, and he'd turn around and walk back and talk to her some more.
So you were eyeing him?
I was eyeing him, and it was just something we did. We didn't have to discuss it. It's just as we kept doing takes.
It was a stare battle, and you won,
it just happened. It happened as we were shooting the scene. We never talked about it. We never rehearsed.
Most of Star Trek had some epic sets, but I remember watching that as young, and my favorite set in that whole episode was when you first see your character with the other 2 guards for the first time. Because when they're walking in, that set was epic. It had like an upstairs, a downstairs, then like where that explosion happened. Off to the left, there was like a little cafe there. It was insane. It was crazy.
Another neat detail about all the Star Trek shows, and a lot of people don't realize this, is that they're all Paramount shows.
Yeah.
And Paramount has this gigantic warehouse of fabric.
And they make all those sets there and clothes.
Well, and they've been storing these fabrics for like 100 years.
Yeah.
So Star Trek, if you think about all the costumes, they've always been these rich, brilliant, brightly colored costumes. They've got this 100-year-old storehouse of this limitless supply of like fabrics from the Golden Age.
And now
like they're probably
your costume was pretty detailed,
and
like from head to toe.
And heavy and thick and rich blue and just so when they design a costume, they go back into this warehouse that they've had for 100 years. They could be pulling fabric that was left over from like the 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
They've got this huge storehouse of stuff. And if Star Trek has been known for nothing else,
the costumes
have been amazing throughout the years.
One thing about your costume, when you put it on and they fitted you and all that, and you were with the other guards, what was like your favorite part about the costume? Was it the gun that you had, the belt, like, or was it the whole thing?
Honestly, I have to tell you, the costumes were a hassle.
Were they?
Because they're like this heavy, thick wool. Yeah. And they're fitted to you. Like it's my costume.
Like skin tight. Yeah.
Like skin tight. So if you don't stand at attention, if you don't stand, like you can't slump or they buckle.
Yeah.
If you try to stand relaxed, they buckle. So unless you're standing like this,
like that,
it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
So the annoying part of it was that I had to stand like this the whole time. But my gun and my helmet were pretty cool.
Because I remember the gun was probably the coolest thing out of you. I was like, man, that is such a cool gun.
I've got some really nice photos of the gun.
And did you get to keep any pieces or anything like from the show?
No, but I will tell you, I'll tell you now that we're so many years later. A friend of mine and I, even though we were shooting on the Planet set, we got to sneak onto the Enterprise set.
Okay, cool.
And we actually stole a couple of the isolinear chips out of the engineering section.
That's cool.
So at home in all my stuff, I've got isolinear chips.
And my fans know I haven't bought one yet, but I'm on eBay and I've got one reserved, so I'm going to buy an isolinear chip.
But I haven't put any on eBay. They're for
it's just for him. Yeah.
I'm not doing that Paramount.
I got you. Now I got a couple questions about Predator. Now that's another iconic movie. So two for two. So when you put on that suit, evidently that's another one that's got to be a hassle, but it was probably worth the effort though, because you get to play one of those iconic characters. Yeah. Got any fond memories from that set?
You know, this is politically maybe not the correct thing to say, but the funniest thing that happened on that set was that I was maybe one of two white guys playing Predators.
Yeah.
And the rest of them, they were all basketball players. And the rumor was that...
because the Predators, they're pretty tall.
Yeah, they were talking, I guess they got some LA Lakers guys to come down.
Oh, that's cool.
These were tall black guys. But a lot of them didn't really have any suit experience.
Okay.
So on some of the first couple of takes, these guys, they'd call action and, I'm out there doing my monster thing and I'm getting all into it. These other guys in these suits would just kind of walk out on set and just kind of stand there.
I got you.
And we've got this really English director named Stephen Hopkins who was just trying to be polite, and he walked out and he said, guys, could you not,
we need more of a...
could you perhaps jive a little bit less? Yeah. And they all started laughing, and they took it really well, and they knew what he meant. They knew exactly, and it wasn't racist or anything, it was just, you have to behave less like basketball players.
Exactly.
And more like Predators. So on the next couple of takes, they started getting into it.
Now, another question on the suit. Some people say you don't find the character until you get the suit on. Like, when you put on that suit, were you like, all right, I know exactly what I'm going to do in this scene, I know exactly what, tell me the experience about the suit.
When you put on the suit, between the feet and the head, I mean, I'm tall enough, but I'm taller in that suit.
Yeah.
But you put that suit on, and all of a sudden your shoulders are bigger. Yeah. And your hands, your fingers are longer, and you've got claws all of a sudden. And you can think about it, but until you get the suit on, and you have armor, and you have dreadlocks, and then you start looking at your hands, and you don't want to go like this. When you have claws and long fingers, you want to use them, and you want to move them.
To get into the character.
And you're big, and you're heavy, and you want people to see your dreads swinging. Yeah. You want people to see how big you are, and you want them to think you're heavy. And you put the suit on, and you look at yourself in the mirror, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm 400 pounds, and I'm strong, and I'm a badass.
He's getting into character right now, guys.
And because you've got all that foam on,
Yeah.
you can't just like wink your eye or twitch your head because it doesn't
Because those
translate.
suits are super detailed. I remember watching it as a kid, and I was like, man, these suits are so cool. Obviously, I knew it was all pretend, but I'm like, those suits are so lifelike. It makes you believe, like, man, that thing is alive. I remember I was like 10, 11-ish watching it.
It was one of the greatest designs for a monster, certainly in film history.
Yeah.
But it was so revolutionary because, I don't know if you know, the first time they filmed Predator, Jean-Claude Van Damme was in a different design, and it was like an insect suit, and it was like 10 feet tall with multi-jointed legs, and it wasn't working in the jungle. They were having a hard time filming it. It wasn't working well.
Because then they got Arnold to do it.
Well, Arnold was in the movie, but they basically took a break for like 6 months, went back to the United States,
I didn't know that.
threw out the first suit, and started over.
And redesigned it.
And these guys basically said, you know, Steve Wang and Stan Winston and Matt Rose and those guys, they basically said, okay, man, you're in the jungle, you're shooting in rough conditions, let's not try doing all this fancy stuff. Let's just stick with the human shape, and let's augment it. So they, by keeping that human shape, it was much more functional in the jungle.
Gotcha.
But it's such an amazing design, and it's so, you know, it's so simple and elegant, but then you've got those great, the mandibles.
Yeah, it goes up and down. And
the story is that Stan Winston was on an airplane flight with James Cameron, and Stan Winston was talking to Jim Cameron about the Predator, this movie he was going to make, and talking about ideas, and James Cameron said, I've always wanted to see a monster with like mandibles.
Yeah, like up and down.
And Stan Winston was like, that's a great idea.
I got something for you. So another question is, when you started filming, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you had the big scene at the end. Was there any more scenes that you were in?
Unfortunately, no.
Just that one big scene. But you know, that ending scene was pretty big, and it was pretty long, too.
Yeah.
So can you tell me how many, I don't recall, how many actual Predators are in that last scene?
I believe there are 10 in the final scene.
And you're one of the 10.
And the crazy thing is that the names that they all have gained over time, like I'm the Boar, we were not named particular Predators.
Yeah, you were just Predator 1, Predator 2, Predator 3.
The fans kind of embraced it.
Yeah, they embraced
fans
it.
started assigning the names.
That's cool.
So there were people coming up to me at conventions and going, oh, you're the Boar Predator.
And you're like, I have no idea what I'm talking about.
And so now, like, the companies have sort of embraced what the fans did, and it started naming the action figures and all the characters after what the fans came up with.
Now, what did you think of that new Predator movie? They made it a couple years ago.
I thought it was good. I thought it was kind of getting it back on track. The whole Predator versus Alien.
I didn't see a lot of those.
They got a little off track. I think Predators kind of got it back on track. And I think The Predator, the Shane Black movie, is going to be great. I think it's going to be so much more like the original 1987.
Now, if they asked you, would you ever come back and do it again?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would absolutely do it. And at the time I did it, I was not union, which I don't really care that much about. Now I'm union eligible, so I could probably go back and make more money.
That's cool. That's always a good thing, guys. Real quick before we end this, do you have anything that you want to plug on my channel? Anything, any websites, any new upcoming projects or anything?
I tell you, I'm always encouraging people to go out and watch our fan film, The Dark Knight Returns.
So this is a new fan film, right?
It was released about a year ago on YouTube. It's a fan film. It adapts the first issue of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. I'm very, very proud of it.
Awesome.
But just December of 2017, we released on DVD and on Amazon streaming. We released our most recent feature film, Four-Color Eulogy.
Okay, cool. So Four-Color Eulogy, check that out.
Yeah.
And so this is the original mask, right? From this?
Yes, it is.
So this is the hero mask.
Yes.
Because I remember you telling me they made two, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's been an honor and a pleasure. I really appreciate the interview, guys. Don't forget to check out this interview, guys, at FearsMan26 on YouTube. Check out Fears Vlogs. Got some more epic content on both of them. And we'll see you guys later.